Welcome to another edition of Winners Get Money, Season 3, Episode number 9. I'm James Myers, and we got my boy, David Rahano. Say what's up, David.
What's up, everyone?
Yeah, hey guys, welcome back. Another edition of your two favorite people's favorite two cappers. We're breaking down college football. We are jumping to week 13 this week. It's crazy. Week 13, only a couple weeks left in the regular season. It's wild. Almost done. And then we're going to recap week 12 last week of college football, how we did, break that down. Had a little bit of a hiccup. We'll talk about that. We'll discuss what we learned. And then, again, if you're new to the show, we're just doing our lineup real quick. And then we're going to talk about last week's NFL best bets, our best bets for NFL. And then we'll talk about this week's NFL. Yeah, we're already jumping to NFL week 12 as well. It's crazy, man. Already halfway through NFL, and it goes so fast. Anyways, again, follow us at Winners Get Money, Twitter, TikTok, all that good stuff. Our YouTube channel, we appreciate it. Thank you guys for tuning in. Anyways, all right, let's recap week 12 college. We went big game hunting last weekend, and we had Oklahoma knocking off Alabama. Big win for them.
Big
And
win.
then we had Texas kind of laying a dud against Georgia, unfortunately, and we were on the bad end of that. Your thoughts on any of that or anything else that stood out last week in college?
Yeah, we went after the two biggest games. OU game and the big, really good one. Really good one for them going to Alabama. And then, yeah, you kind of said it with Texas. Everyone expected a lot more out of them. And then it's just been, I guess, the same Texas, aside from that OU. No, even OU killed them too, right? Back in the,
No, Texas beat them
no,
in
Texas
the
beat them.
Red River
Okay.
Rivalry. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was like it was a low scoring game.
that's what, yeah.
Yeah,
It was the only game that they actually like showed up for, I feel, this year.
yeah.
We had a dud. I mean, Georgia just took care of business. The game got a little close to kind of cover at one
Hmm.
point, and then the fourth quarter, I think Georgia just kind of like pulled away,
Yeah.
and that's pretty much all she wrote. But it just didn't. From the beginning, it just didn't feel like Texas was gonna be in that game at all,
No.
and kind of how it went out.
Yeah. It's crazy too, man. We gave out what 6.5. I think that line got down to 3.5 before kickoff.
Yeah,
People were hammering Texas. It's crazy and just yeah, they opened up with a field goal and then it all just after that kind of went to crap. But other than that, I don't know. I can't think of really much else that kind of stood out in college that last week. Anything else? I'm trying to remember. Texas Tech looked good again. New playoff
BYU won a
rankings.
game.
A couple teams moved up. I think it's Ohio State, Indiana. I'm going off the top of my head. Ohio State, Indiana, Georgia,
A&M.
and A&M. Oh, dude, A&M. We got to talk about that real quick. What a comeback.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my
30, wait,
gosh. They're
32 unanswered, 33
yeah,
unanswered.
insane, man. They were on the ropes. South Carolina. I think they were up 30-3 at halftime. I want to say, and South
Yeah,
Carolina just was laying the wood to them and just dominated that first half. Like, let's not kid ourselves. And then A&M scored 4 straight touchdowns to take the lead back. Ended up winning, and South Carolina had a chance at the end, but it was literally the it just flipped, but like the roles of both teams each half. It was role reversal. Anyway, your thoughts on that?
yeah. It was crazy seeing South Carolina didn't put up any points at all in the second half.
It's
Like,
crazy, yeah.
but I mean, that's just the name of the game, I guess, with South Carolina. Like, there's a reason why they only won 3 games on the year is because they can't finish games. Like earlier in the season, they've been in a lot of games, and they just couldn't finish at the end. And yeah, I mean, A&M, if everyone thought their season was not done per se, but they're like, wow, like one of the most shocking like
Yeah.
first halves you would think, and then just the way they kind of came back. Because in that first half too, like missing field goals, getting a turnover, and then
A
missing the
lot of
field
red
goal.
zone turnovers too.
A lot of red zone turnovers. Like you just,
Yeah.
what's the quarterback's name? I can't
Marcel
think of
Reed.
it.
Yeah.
Really, yeah.
Yeah.
There's no way you would think like, oh, he's going to come back second half and not be rattled the way he was. But no, I mean, he came back, got his composure. I mean, that's why they say it's halftime adjustments. I guess at that point.
It's amazing, dude. They came back and it's funny too, on the brink of that, they extended their coach. I think they gave him like a 4 or 5 year extension too. I forgot his name, Dalco or something like that. I can't remember, but good coach. He was from Duke. Anyways, I think yeah. So it's yeah. You said A&M number 4, and I think it's A&M. I mean not A&M. Texas Tech's number 5, who like is one of my darlings for this year's
Yep, North. I love that.
playoff. I love Tech this year. I really hope they do it, but I'm not saying they're going to, but just kind of from a neutral perspective, I kind of hope they make something happen and go all the way. But we'll see. Anyways, college. We'll recap real quick how we did. We went one. We had the same plays last week, so I'll just name them off just to make for time's sake. We went 1-2 last week. We won on Oklahoma. Obviously, we already mentioned that. We lost on Texas. And then we had Sparty. They actually got trounced by Penn State. That was
Yeah,
the wrong side.
that's probably the
Uh,
worst.
yeah.
We did have one bet earlier this year that was really bad. This might be the second worst
What
one
was
of the
our other
year.
bet? That was just horrible. Oh, it was Illinois.
It's Illinois against Indiana. Indiana just
Yeah, and then we found out what Indiana is.
yeah.
God. Yeah, no, Indiana was legit, and we just early in the season we didn't think they were as legit as they are. So we found out the hard way. But yeah, we found out the hard way with Michigan State too. And there's a reason Michigan State is what they are with their
Yeah.
record. So, anyways, so David is 12-9 overall in college. I am 13-12 in college. So we look to capitalize on that with two more plays this week. We didn't like a ton on the board this week, but we are on the same sides on these as well. So without further ado, let's jump into best bets week 13 college. David, you start us off with our first play.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, it this week's pretty light. On the no big games really, but we found Georgia Tech at home, 2.5 point favorites against Pittsburgh, and yeah, I mean Georgia Tech 9-1. Their only hiccup was the NC State about 2 weeks ago. Um, this is essentially just to stay up top of the ACC for Georgia Tech. If you look at the standings, I think it was obviously Georgia Tech on top, Virginia 6-1, right behind them, and then there's Pittsburgh 5-1. Pittsburgh just came off a loss at home to Notre Dame, and I mean they're looking to bounce back. Good thing Notre Dame's not a conference, foe for them, so they still in it for the ACC, and I guess in it to be was one of the best to get in the playoff. I guess
Mm-hmm.
conference winners or one of the so there's
Automatic
still
bids. Yeah.
yeah, Mike Vince, yeah. I mean, it's still a lot to play for both squads, but Georgia Tech just a little bit better, on all fronts. And I mean, this total, I think we looked at it, was up in like the 60s, right?
Yeah, it was
60
high
flat.
60s.
So like that total just kind of just favors Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech's a little bit more offensive minded, I feel, than Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh more defensive, even though Notre Dame just like shredded them for like 40 something points last week. But yeah, it just seems more of just the better team at home is pretty much how like this thing's gonna get capped by us.
Yeah, I agree. Better teams at home. I think Georgia Tech plays better too when they're kind of counted out. So I mean, I know they're not counted out here at 2.5, but it's kind of a slight at them. Feel like this line should be a little higher for them. But I've just noticed all season when Georgia Tech has been kind of counted out, they've risen to the occasion, to say the least. The only game they lost was a game they were favored in against NC State. You mentioned the conference. They got to win out, Georgia Tech, and then you said like they have their look ahead against Georgia. This is a huge conference game, especially they have to bolster this resume and win the ACC to have any chance at making the playoff. Because right now Miami, we didn't even mention them, but Miami controls it because of that win against Notre Dame. They
Yeah,
have Notre Dame who's already in the playoff, who's pretty much in already, like I've mentioned last week. So like Georgia Tech cannot blow any games. They got to make the ACC championships and they got to win it if they want any chance to make the playoffs. So this is a huge game for them, huge game for Pitt. I expect the crowd to be rocking in behind them, and because I think the crowd knows how important this is to get to the conference title game and ultimately try and reach their goal of the playoff. So yeah, we like Tech here at home. We got an experienced quarterback as well in Haynes King. He's solid, so I think they'll have a good game plan.
yeah.
Anything else
Especially
in that? Oh,
too,
good.
it's like
Yeah.
like we think about the ACC. Like, when's the last time you heard like Georgia Tech being up there? In the
Yeah.
ACC, like
No,
the
no.
Virginias, the Pittsburghs. Usually, it's the Clemson's, the Miami's that we talked about. So it's like Florida States. We've talked about
Yeah.
for many years. So I mean, this is the time for Georgia Tech if they're ever gonna like win something in the ACC. Like this is the most vulnerable ACC we've seen in years. I would say even last year, last couple of years, yeah, it's been down. But for sure, Georgia Tech, like just the extra motivation to kind of need, um, to kind of crown themselves here. So
Yeah, definitely. Agree. Okay. Georgia Tech -2.5 at home against Pitt. Our second game. We're kind of digging into the lower schools a little bit. We're going Mountain West, right? These are Mountain West teams.
Yep, the
We're going
final season of this Mountain West.
Yeah, it's a great point. We're going Air Force. We're going to one of the academy schools. Air Force plus 3.5 versus New Mexico here. We just we like them at home. New Mexico look ahead spot. Who did you say they play next week? My bad. You
San Diego
said it.
State.
Who? San Diego State. Yeah, huge game next week. Air Force, yes, the record. I was telling you off before this, like their record doesn't show how good like Air Force has actually been this season. They've had a lot of close games this year. They basically have been in just about every single game. They've lost, and they're able to put up points. Air Force. They this triple option. I think it's going to cause big trouble for New Mexico. They haven't gone against a triple option team this year, and they've, like I said, Air Force putting up points. I think they'll be able to move the ball on them, and their losses, even Air Force's losses, have been formidable. They've lost by 3 to Army, lost by 10 to UConn. UConn's actually a really good football team. So I think they come back at home. I think they win. Final home game of the season. I think they get it done. And maybe sprinkle the money line here if you're feeling it. So, but Air Force, this is a good Air Force actually football team. I don't see New Mexico going in there and controlling it. I think Air Force will be controlling the pace of play and the field as well. So yeah, Air Force here.
Yeah, I mean, you said it too. Like these academy schools, they all run triple options, something that a lot of these teams like don't see often. So it can give them tons of trouble, especially the way too. If Air Force plays the way they kind of know like how to play, like you said, dictate the clock, shorten possessions, long, like they're the type of team that can go 80 yards and chew up 7, 8 minutes of the clock, just the way they play. And that's the kind of stuff that could give teams trouble. And in this sense here, like just looking at New Mexico's schedule, they haven't played any other academy schools or anyone that would run a triple option. So especially it's different preparing for it in a week, you know,
Yeah, at the end of the season too.
at the end of the season in a week compared to like teams that have like, oh, we're playing, Army week 1, and it's like, oh, we've had all summer to prepare for this.
I've noticed academy schools always struggle if they like
Early.
if it's against a big team early. Yeah, good
They
point.
always
Good
struggle
point.
because yeah, I mean you're just waiting, like you're scheming up, the scout defense. It's always like, all right, we're just gonna defend the triple option this week.
Mm.
But yeah, like you said too, big game next week. They have a look ahead against San Diego State to, ruin their chance at going to the Mountain West Championship. Because as of now, I think they're looking at a Fresno San Diego State rematch
Hmm.
from a little earlier, so or at least earlier this season. But that's dependent on San Diego State taking care of business against San Jose
Yeah.
State, and then going over there to New Mexico, which is it's not an easy game. I
Hmm.
mean, yeah, I get it. It's New Mexico. Yeah, I get it. It's Mountain West football, but you saw what they did when they went to Hawaii. So, um,
Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, yeah, we like it too. Like Air Force has been in a lot of games, like you said. You named off like the Yukons, which have turned their program around. So we just think the 3.5 is probably a little too much here. Like you said, sprinkle the money line. I don't hate that either.
Yeah. At home and like, they've shown they can score too, so they're not. I don't see how Air Force won't be able to move the ball here. Yeah, I mean that's kind of it for college for us guys. It's only two plays for week 13. Georgia Tech minus 2.5 versus Pitt, and then we got Air Force plus 3.5 versus New Mexico. Okay, let's keep it going, man. Let's jump into NFL. We got week 12 this week. But first, unfortunately, we had a recap. I mean, David had a pretty good week, but I was horrible this week to say the least. David went 2-1 with the Niners -3, had the under 45 in Denver,
Uh,
Kansas City,
yeah,
and then we both lost in the Falcons -3.5 against the Panthers. Penix gets hurt. He was moving the ball pretty well, but just yeah, Atlanta burned us again, unfortunately. And then I went 0-3. I think it's my first 0-3 week all season. But I don't even think I had an 0-3 last year. Vikings -2.5 loss. Just so many chances against the Bears. And then I had the over 49 Bengals Steelers. Steelers put up 34 points and didn't hit the over. It's tough. So Bengals just didn't do their job, and it was unfortunate. Saw Jamar Chase spitting on Jalen Ramsey
he's
out this
suspended.
week. Yeah, I think he's out this week. So um, they just kind of I don't know what happened, but just I was amazed they couldn't put up more than like 20 points against this Steelers defense, but they didn't. And Unfortunate. Even what killed us too a little bit was Rodgers getting hurt. Mason Rudolph came in the second half, so his status stinks up in the air. Anyway, we won't harp on that. Let's jump to Week 12. NFL. We have one play. We're on two similar plays, and then I have an extra play. So we got two plays together, and then I have an extra play. All right, let's start it. I'll lead it. We got Bengals plus 7.5 versus the Patriots. Yeah, we just mentioned the Bengals again. Yeah, Jamar Chase is out probably this week. He appealed, but he got denied. He's for spitting on Jalen Ramsey. I just think this is a bounce back game. This is a perfect bounce back spot. I don't know if Burrow. I know it's crazy to hear. I don't know if Burrow's playing this week because he was a full participant in practice on Wednesday, which is crazy. I mean, I don't even care if it's Burrow or not. I think Flacco responds here. Guy's a seasoned vet. He knows how to get it done. They still have plenty of weapons on offense. We've talked about it. Higgins, Gesicki. They got a good run game still. Vosh. They got good weapons. I don't. Patriots defense. It's susceptible to giving up points. Flacco can spin it with anybody. Their defense, yes, is horrible. I get it, but I'm getting more than the only reason I like this spot is because we're getting more than a touchdown here. I think we can easily get a backdoor if we need one at the end. And New England, I mean, we've talked about it. Strength of schedule, not the greatest. But they're a good team. I think New England is the better team here, but more than a touchdown at home in Cincinnati, especially if Burrow plays, will be interesting as well. Crowd will be into it, I'm sure. But anyway, yeah, Bengals. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of the plays that I also have, and yeah, I mean, you kind of hit all the points. Like regardless if it's Burrow, regardless if it's Flacco, like yeah, we're missing Jamar Chase. More than enough weapons to, get us to cover here. If there's like a 3, 4 point spread, we're probably off of this game.
Yeah.
But in the NFL, it's like we kind of like say it every week. Too much parity in the NFL, one week to another. Like it's just these guys are professional athletes. It is how it is. We know like the Bengals. Yeah, they came off a stinker last week. That's what makes me like them more. A lot of people are gonna be like, oh, they just lost by what 20 to the
Pittsburgh.
Steelers.
Yeah.
Like, are they gonna come back and do it again? They're like, oh yeah, they're gonna get killed again. Look at the Patriots record. A lot of people just look at the records and they don't really think about like all these like extra factors that I guess we kind of think about when we're kind of going through these games. So yeah, I mean the Bengals they're at home. Patriots, like you said, strength of schedule's not the best. Yeah, I mean you have to give them credit for the season they've had.
Yeah.
Drake May's been playing good.
Yeah.
As a team they've been playing good, but just 7.5 points here just seems like way too much.
Yeah. I just think, yeah, Bengals just, yeah, like we said, too much. And just, I think it's a really good bounce back spot for a seasoned, like, group at the top. You got Flacco and Higgins. They've all been there. The coach, Zach Taylor's been there. And, he's kind of, Zach Taylor's kind of coached. I'm not saying he's out, but, like, could be a little bit coaching for his job the rest of the season.
Yeah,
People are starting to, I mean, it sucks that Burrow got hurt, so he may get let off and like get another season, but they lose out or something like that. They go on a fat losing streak to end the season. There could be some rumors of him getting out, so he needs this just for his job security for next season, I would say as well. So I think they'll play for him. I think the players like him. He's been there for a while now, so it's impressive. But yeah, we'll see. Bengals plus 7.5. Anyways, uh, our next play, Dave. What do we got?
yeah, we have. We're going back to the team that's been just killing us.
The best
Like
play.
yeah, sometimes like the plays that you hate are the ends up being the ones that end up being winners at the end of the day. But we're going back to the Falcons money line.
Take it seriously. It's
They're
so
in
funny.
they're in New Orleans. Man, the Falcons last week they let Bryce Young just
Carve him.
be MVP against them
Yeah.
last week. It was ridiculous. Watching that game, they were up 5 early fourth quarter, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm feeling pretty good, And then it's just the last 2 minutes of the game, like touchdown here, they come back, field goal, you take it, like back and forth, and it's like, why do the Falcons keep doing this? Like they're
Yeah.
such the better team on paper. They had no business letting Bryce Young did what he did to him, but yeah, I mean there's a rant about the Falcons that they've been burning us all year, but we get Kirk this week, so
Yeah.
we get Kirk this week. All the Falcons got to do is win. We're not asking them to cover 4 points like we did last week. New Orleans side, they're not. as bad as people kind of thought they were going to be coming into the season. But it's just like we said, like there's a talent disparity here. Atlanta has just a much better team, much better offense. Hopefully, Kirk can give us a little, old Kirk.
Hmm.
Um, and like we said, historically how he thrives in those 10 a.m. starts, West Coast starts. So
Yeah, that's fair.
hopefully that comes back. But yeah, we're just gonna take the Falcons again and just hope we're on the right side for once.
Yeah, I'm with you on this. I'm on Atlanta as well. I think it's Cousins finally gets a full week of practice with the ones as well. I think that's big. He knows. I think Penix, another torn ACL for Penix, which is wild. It's like his third one in his
Third
career.
one,
So
yeah,
they're saying like this could be like career threatening, this one, because it's third. Anyway, and then Atlanta, New Orleans, I get it. Like I think they're off a bye coming into this game. They won one game with Shuck, the Tyler Shuck, the rookie QB. He's won one game. It was in Carolina. It's impressive. I give him that. I gotta see more. I gotta see
yeah,
more before this kid who's only played. This will be his second career game coming to start, and now he's a favorite against a veteran in Kirk Cousins with probably a better team in Atlanta, and he's the favorite. He's favored over them, which is crazy to me. That's wild. So, uh, I got to. This is just a fade against experience and Shug, and I got to see more from New Orleans before I'm laying points with a rookie QB in his second ever start when I'm going against a veteran quarterback in Atlanta. And I think Atlanta, it's the same thing I mentioned with Bengals. Raheem Morris, the coach for Atlanta, there's been rumblings too about him. Uh, are they going to play for him? I think they do this week. I think if again, like just same thing as Zach Taylor. I think if he loses out, I think he might be done too in Atlanta. They're kind of sick of it. They had a lot of talent this year and they keep it up. So I think they're going to be fighting for jobs. Morris will coach his butt off this week. I think Kirk will save his job because Morris has always kind of believed in him. I know they benched him for Penix, but like Morris has always had his back and defended him since he's been there. And I think Cousins. Maybe you get one of those special Cousins games. A 13-year veteran, whatever veteran he is in the league, and puts on a good performance here. Anything else on that?
yeah. That's pretty much it. It's NFL week, just like college, it hasn't been the greatest, I think,
Yeah.
weekend to to just to watch or even to bet. So we're picking crumbs this week for sure.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah. So David, that's his last play. I got one more. We're gonna go with another big dog here. The biggest dog on the slate. We're gonna go New York Jets. Yes, I know it's the Jets. We're gonna go Jets plus 13 and a half here. Tyrod Taylor's starting. They're playing at Baltimore at the Ravens. We're going Tyrod here. I think it's actually maybe a little bit of an upgrade. I think Tyrod's a serviceable QB. I again, I'm not. Everyone. I get it. It's Lamar. It's the name. I just don't understand why everyone is so big on them. Like right now, still they haven't since Lamar's been back. They've beaten who at Cleveland. They barely covered on
Barely.
that, and it's just they're not. They're just getting so much love for not really that impressive of wins. They really haven't been impressive. Like I'm not sold on a defense still. I'm really not. Like they went against Dylan Gabriel, and then you got Shador Sanders in the second half. Like I'm not. And Shador, if you watch the end of that game, he had a chance to go down and lead the tying touchdown, but he missed the guy in the end zone. The guy was
Yeah.
wide open. He just airmailed it. I get it though. It's a rookie. Whatever. Shador. I don't. Whatever. Who cares? But I'm getting a veteran QB who's seen everything in the NFL, and I think they'll play well. And I think Tyrod, he's trying to keep a job, and he's been there forever. And I think players like Aaron Glenn, and it's like pros we always say playing for jobs and stuff. So I gotta see more. It's another fade against a team that I gotta see more of. Like Baltimore has not shown me that you can lay 13 and a half at home and they're going to cover it. Like, I don't care who they're playing, the Jets, like, even if it is the Jets. Jets have been in a lot of games lately, and I think they keep it within a number here. So I'm running with New York. Anything on that?
Yeah. Just overall disgusting game.
Oh, it's gross as hell. Yeah.
But like you said, like who are the Ravens to be laying 13 and a half here? Like people probably look at that number and think, oh, like if Lamar's back, they must be the Ravens of old. Because I mean, the
Yeah.
old Harbaugh, like they love to run up the score. They will win with margin, but it's just this year we just haven't seen it, and it's more
Hmm.
of a prove me wrong type of thing.
Yeah.
And the Jets, like they've been in a lot of games this year. They probably should have a couple more wins, I think,
Yeah.
than their record shows for. I mean, yeah, they lost Wilson. I think he's out for the year now.
Yeah, and then the
Um,
trades. Yeah.
the trades and everything. So, but it's a next man up mentality, like you say, for jobs. I mean, Tyron his hit on his side, he's probably playing for another backup QB job somewhere.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just think the NFL, like usually when you're laying more than double digits, it's a little dicey here and there.
Yeah.
And yeah, certainly I would lean Jets before I even think about touching the Ravens here.
Yeah. Okay. So those are my three. Bengals 7.5, Atlanta money line against the Saints, and Jets plus 13.5. David's got Bengals plus 7.5 and Falcons money line. Anything else? NFL, college, football, anything, college basketball, anything else? Are we good?
Um, yeah, I mean we're approaching the end of the college football season, so bowl
Crazy.
season's coming up. College basketball feast week. We were talking about it.
Yeah, love it.
We think feast week might be one of the most underrated weeks.
Mm,
Just college basketball, and then you got Maction sprinkled in there.
yep.
You're gonna have you're gonna have the Thanksgiving games next week.
Yeah.
You're gonna have Black Friday game as well as you usually have now, college and NFL. So it's overall it's a pretty really good sports week.
It
To be
really
honest.
is. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, playoff. Who do you got? College football. Who do you got in your play? Like, who do you think's gonna win it all? You got Ohio State?
I think Ohio State's the front runner right now.
Yeah.
Um, I was saying how the futures with it's like the Real Madrid Champions League,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
and then it's like Ohio State was the other one that he had.
Omar.
Um,
Yeah. Good
yeah,
guy.
and then the Lions is his Super Bowl future.
I
So,
love that. I love it.
so yeah, $100 wins like 25 or 26 grand or something. So I mean, I think as of now, he's probably feeling pretty good about Ohio State, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess barring injury, Ohio State's probably the front runner for sure.
Yeah. It's
Um,
mhm.
yeah,
They're just a better team again, man. It's crazy. Like they look better. They almost look better than last year's team.
yeah.
It's kind of crazy how good they are. Yeah, again, like I said, my sleeper would be Texas Tech, but I don't know if they'll win it. But for value wise, I wouldn't mind laying that. But yeah, it's kind of. And then I think like NFL, I would say probably like Rams are kind of my, I know it's a lot of people's now, but they're complete on both sides, dude. I don't. There's not a lot of faults in that team to say the least. Barring injuries, I don't see a lot of faults in the Rams. I could see them going all the way, but yeah,
I guess if they stay healthy, like you said. I mean, just
yeah,
looking at like the updated odds, Ohio State's plus 175
yeah.
right now, and the
Mm,
second best odds, Indiana, and then obviously Texas A&M would be third.
mm.
Notre Dame plus 950. So, um, yeah, I mean,
It's
good value.
crazy, man. What's Tech? I'm just curious.
Texas Tech plus 1200, 12 to one.
Yeah, I mean, would you take like I think Texas Tech could hang with Notre Dame and A&M. I really do.
Yeah,
I maybe not Indiana or Ohio State, but I think those two teams. I think they could beat. I mean Texas. I mean Notre Dame's got a freshman QB in Carr, so
yeah,
I'll take the experience with Texas Tech and Morton. But
yeah. And then looking at the Super Bowl side of
mm,
things, Rams plus 550. Yeah,
yeah,
Eagles plus 575. So right after them, and then the
I agree with
Bills.
that.
Bills are the third best.
Really,
I don't think the
the
Bills should miss the
Bills?
plus 760.
Wow, dude.
Yeah, but
With like
I will say it's pretty wide open though. The Super Bowl usually there's like one team that's like
AFC for
plus
sure.
200, plus 300.
Mhm.
The Rams are plus 550. They're the highest the highest odded team right
Yeah.
now. So it's like this is probably a pretty open NFL season to be
Yeah, I
honest.
would definitely. I feel like NFC. Yeah, I mean, you could say Eagles, Rams, Lions. I mean, if Lions don't go for it 5 times on fourth down in Sunday Night Football, they probably they kick field goals. They're in that game. They went for
Yeah,
it 5 times. Campbell's a psycho, but yeah, I just and then AFC. It's AFC's wide open to me. I think any team could honestly win it in the AFC. It's just there's no team where I'm like, oh, I definitely trust them to win it. So I think that's where everyone's like still kind of. And then oh yeah, one quick point, and then we'll let you guys go. I'd say the Chiefs, man. This is like we talked about it. It's probably their biggest game of the season. I think if they lose this game, they're probably done in the playoffs. Like they're out. They're not going to make the playoffs if they lose this game. So kind of keep your eye out on that one. They got a big one against the Colts.
Yeah, isn't it like Mahomes has been in the AFC Championship
It's
all but one, or maybe every year since he's been in the league? I think it's all but one. I
I think
want
it's
to
all
say
but one. Yeah, his first. Yeah, I think you're
maybe
right.
his
Yeah,
first year no, but then every year since. I think it's like eight straight. I mean, it's been a. I
it's been
mean
insane. Yeah,
that dynasty's been running for a good while, but it looks like
yeah,
it might be coming to an end here. So
yeah. Oh, excuse me, guys. Apologize. Yeah. All right. Other than that, I think that's it. Man. You good?
yeah, we're good. See you guys next
Cool.
week.
Yeah. See you guys. Win some money. Get responsibly again. Follow us at Winners Get Money, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube channel. We appreciate you guys tuning in, and we'll see you next week. All right, guys. See you.